Welcome. Have a nice day. Today is Thursday, 27th of February 2025. Internationally, February 27th is celebrated as International Polar Bear Day, a day dedicated to raising awareness about the conservation of polar bears and the threats of they face. It is also recognized as the World NGO Day, celebrating the work of non-governmental organizations. Here are some key points focused on polar bears. This day is primarily used to educate people about the importance of protecting polar bears' habitats and impact of climate change on their population. NGO recognition. World NGO Day highlights the contribution and efforts of non-governmental organizations on global scale. Now, starting the newspaper with the world news, including Trump says some cabinet members disagree with Musk, vows to throw out members who are not happy with Musk. Hamas hands over bodies of four hostages as Israel releases Palestinian prisoners under ceasefire deal. We have been getting a lot of death threats. Musk details dogged team's progress. Threats at Trump's first cabinet meeting. Trump was to slap 25% tariffs on European Union very soon. Washington Post opinion editor departs as Bezos pushes to promote personal liberties and free markets. Trump administration orders more layoffs as Musk meets with the cabinet. Now, starting the newspaper with the Hindu, the Hamas hands over for their hostages to Red Cross from Gaza as Palestinians leave Israeli prison. Palestinian prisoners are created after being released from the Israeli prison following the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas in the West Bank city of Ramallah on February 27, 2025. The handover will complete both sides' obligations under the ceasefire's first phase, during which Hamas returned 33 hostages, including 8 bodies, in exchange for nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. Hamas handed over 40 dead hostages to the Red Cross early Thursday, February 27, 2025, in exchange for the Israelis' release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, days before the first phase of the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip will end. An Israeli security official confirmed that Hamas handed the bodies to the Red Cross. Israel said the caskets were delivered with the help of Egyptian mediators through an Israeli crossing, and an identification process has begun. Trump administration cutting 90% of USAID foreign aid contracts, document shows US President Donald Trump. The Trump administration officials said that they had finally begun paying USAID bills again after the month-long halt on payments. The Trump administration said Wednesday, February 26, 2025, it is eliminating more than 90% of the United States Agency for International Development's USAID foreign aid contracts and $60 billion in United States assistance around the world. The document is detailed the result of the program review ordered by United States President Donald Trump of all the USAID and the State Department for Development and Aid work overseas. The cuts detailed by the administration leave few surveying USAID projects for advocates to try to save in what are ongoing court battles. The Trump administration outlined its plan in both an internal memo obtained by the Associated Press and a court filing Wednesday, February 26, 2025. Now, going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper, states that Assam earthquake 5.0 magnitude quake hits Morrigaon, tremors felt in Guwahati. The earthquake struck at 2:25 a.m. at a depth of 16 kilometers, the National Center for Seismology said. Assam earthquake updates a 5.0 magnitude earthquake jolted Assam's Morrigaon district in the early hours of Thursday, with the tremors felt in the Guwahati and other parts of the state. The National Center for Seismology (NCS) reported that the earthquake struck at 2:25 a.m. at a depth of 16 kilometers. Earthquake of magnitude 5.0 on 27th February 2025, 2:25:42 according to Indian Standard Time, and latitude of 26.28 degree north and longitude of 92.94 degree east. Depth is 16 km. Location Morrigaon, Assam, the NCS said on platform X. Earthquakes are quite common in Assam since the state sits in one of India's most earthquake-prone zones. It falls under the seismic zone 5. which means it is at high risk of strong tremors. Over the years, the region has seen some massive earthquakes like the 1950 Assam Tibet earthquake, 8.6 magnitude, and the 1897 Shillong earthquake, 8.1 magnitude, both among the strongest in the history. Chinar felling stirs row in the valley. Administration calls it pruning. Centuries old Chinar after being felled at Rani Bagh in the Anantnag district of Jammu and Kashmir. Srinagar, months after the Jammu and Kashmir government announced that Aadhaar initiative to geotag the Chinar trees that have always been associated with the region so as to preserve their numbers. The felling of several of the trees, including some believed to be hundreds of years old, in a public park in the South Kashmir's Anantnag district, ostensibly for pruning, has outraged people across the Union territory. Photographs and videos showed massive trunks lying on the ground at Rani Bagh in Anantnag, and residents have alleged that while the authorities granted limited permission to contractors for pruning dry branches at Rani Bagh, Sarnal and Kadipura, these approvals were used to extract maximum wood by bringing down the whole tree. Chinar wood is prized and sought after for carving and sculpting. There has been a wanton destruction of Chinar trees in Rani Bagh. It is not pruning but mass killing of trees, said a resident Muhammad Aslam. The government's geotagging revealed that there are around 28,500 Chinar trees in the region, referred to as the Oriental Plain, Platanus orientalis, and locally known as buini. The tree can grow up to a height of 30 meters and a girth of 10 to 15 meters at a ground level, taking around 150 years to reach its full size. Its felling is banned under the Jammu and Kashmir Preservation and Special Trees Act 1969, unless permitted by district authorities if there is a threat to life or property. Member of the Legislative Assembly, MLA from Sirgafara, Brijbehara in Anantnag district, Bashir Ahmed Veri, has taken cognizance of the issue. These pictures must be reported to the National Green Tribunal. Meanwhile, the DC Anantnag should initiate a high-level inquiry, book the culprits for vandalizing public property, and impose heavy fines as deterrent, he added. Dismissing the report, district authorities said that they were cutting dry branches of the trees. It has come to our notes that misleading information is being circulated regarding illegal tree felling in the Rani Bagh and Anantnag. It is factually incorrect and baseless. In Rani Bagh, many Chinars have dry branches. We had written a reminder to Deputy Commissioner and we had gotten permission from District Administration for cutting dry branches, said Mazhar Mustafa Ansari, District Floriculture Officer. As per the 2018 census, there are around 6,222 Chinar trees in Anantnag district. The geotagging at the entry census carried out by the Jammu and Kashmir Forest Research Institute confirmed a fear of a fall in the number of Chinar trees, whose numbers were once estimated at 42,000 to 45,000. People's Democratic Party leader Iltija Mufti said on even days Jammu and Kashmir government geotagged Chinars trees promoting conservation, but on odd days 500-year-old Chinar trees symbolizing history and the very passage of time itself are felled, infuriating and puzzling. No excuse whatsoever can justify this treaty, she said on platform X. The Environmental Policy Group, EPGS, civil society-driven environmental protection group, strongly denounced the deeply distressing felling of a centuries-old Chinar trees in Rani Bagh and Anantnag. The group said that the trees, believed to be over 500 years old, hold immense historical, cultural, and ecological value. Their destruction represents a blatant violation of the laws of established to protect such heritage and a grave injustice to the legacy of Kashmir, said the group convener Faiz Bakshi in a statement. The group also pointed out that there has been insensitivity towards the Chinar trees among the authorities. It is highly alarming that this incident is not isolated. Recent infrastructure development projects, including the widening of the Narbal-Delana road, saw the uprooting of over 100 Chinar trees. Earlier, also APG protested the cutting of Chinar trees in the parking area of the wildlife warden Kashmir's office at Hokarsar wetland. The widening of Narwal Baramulla Road has further exacerbated the situation, leading to the removal of several Chinar trees along the route up to Dalina, the group said. EPG demanded an immediate and independent investigation into the felling of the Rani Bagh trees and any similar incidents stemming from the infrastructure development or negligence. All those responsible for permitting or executing such destruction must be held accountable under the law, it said. Now going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, right? Application switch to subscription model amid conflicting ruling on GST liability. Under the subscription model, Uber provides an estimated fare based on the algorithm. On this algorithm, which can be further negotiated by the driver and the passenger. Passengers now have to select cash as their payment method and can use cash or UPI to pay the fare directly to auto drivers, who in turn pay a periodic fee to Uber for platform access under its subscription model. Farmers' share in the Rabi crops consumer prices ranged from 40 to 67%. Reserve Bank of India survey, while cash transactions dominate other payments in the agricultural supply chain, electronic payments registered a significant increase in 2024 survey over the previous survey of 2018 and 2022 for all the participants, the Reserve Bank of India survey said. Around one-fourth of the respondents for each farmers in the 2024 survey are reported to have sold their output to the government under a procurement system. European Union trade talks India to red flag carbon tax data privacy concerns, while several countries including China, Russia, Brazil and South Africa have taken the European Union to the World Trade Organization. India is yet to formally file a case as both sides are actively discussing a free trade agreement, investment pact and geographical indication GI treaty. Ursula von der Leyen, European Commission President, at the top secretaries meeting ahead of European Union delegation visit focus on cohesive collaborative approach. A meeting also comes at a time when there is a growing recognition of the need for a more productive template for free trade agreement negotiations given the mixed outcomes of trade deals inked so far, including the new agreements negotiated by the current government. This comes as the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the President of the European Commission, EC Ursula von der Leyen, are expected to discuss a range of issues, including the negotiations for trade deal and greater cooperation on security, defense, and fast emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence. According to Science and Tech, we have private company Initiative Machines launches a lunar lander antenna to explore Moon's South Pole with the drone Grace. Photographers recorded images of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket with the Initiative Machines, a second lunar lander, as a liftoff from Pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center in the Cape Canaveral on February 26. NASA is paying $62 million to Intuitive Machines to get a drill and other experiments to the moon. A private company launched another lunar lander Wednesday, February 26, 2025, aiming to get closer to the moon's south pole, this time with a drone that will hop into the jet-back crater that never sees the sun. Initiative Machines lander named Athena caught a lift with the SpaceX from NASA Kennedy Space Center, is taking a fast track to the moon with the landing on March 6, while hoping to avoid the fate of its predecessor, which tripped over at touchdown. The two United States lander are carrying tens of millions of dollars worth of experiments for NASA as it prepares to return astronauts to the moon. It is an amazing, there is so much energy, NASA's science mission chief Nikki Fox told the Associated Press a few hours ahead of the launch. The SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket with the Intuitive Machines second lunar lander lifts from the Pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral on February 26, 2025. This is not Initiative Machines for first lunar rodeo. Last year, the Texas company made the first United States touchdown on the moon in more than 50 years, but an instrument that causes distance did not work and lander came down too hard and broke leg, tipping on onto its side. Initiative Machines said it has fixed the issue and dozens of others. A sideways landing like last time would prevent would prevent the drone and a fear of rovers from moving out. NASA's drill also needs to an upright landing to praise beneath the lunar surface to gather soil samples from our analysis. Certainly, we will be better this time than we were last time. But you never know what could happen, said Trent Martin, senior vice president of Space System. Only 5 countries have pulled off a lunar landing over the decades: Russia, the United States, China, India, and Japan. The moon is littered with the wreckage from many past failures. The SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets with the Initiative, a machine's second lunar lander, lifts off from the Pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center in the Cape Canaveral floor on February 26, 2025. NASA is paying a $62 million to Initiative missions to get a drill and other experiments onto the moon. The company in turn sold space and the lander to others. It also opened up the Falcon rocket ride sharing. Tagalongs, including NASA's lunar trailblazer satellite, which will fly separately to the moon over the next several months before entering the lunar orbit to map the distribution of water below. Also catching a ride was a private spacecraft that will chase after an asteroid for a flyby, a precursor to asteroid mining. Technology, collaboration, and regulation key into India's healthcare transformation, experts at BioAsia 2025. The panel discussion titled Integration Healthcare and Patient Outcomes featured experts from the medical, regulatory, and technology sector who advocated for a historic, holistic, and data-driven transformation of India's healthcare system at BioAsia 2025 in Hyderabad on Wednesday, February 26. Panelists also pointed to India's alarming healthcare infrastructure deficit as a major barrier to integrated healthcare. The future of India's healthcare landscape hinges on an integrated approach that balances technology, regulation, and equitable access. Highlighted experts at a panel discussion during the BioAsia 2025 in Hyderabad on Wednesday, February 26, 2025. The discussion titled Integrated Healthcare and Patient Outcomes have featured experts from the medical, regulatory, and technology sector who advocated for a holistic and data-driven transformation of India's healthcare system. The impact of ethanol on the environment. Andhra Pradesh state scientists should not be dismissed for raising concerns about ethanol factories. Concerns about the ethanol blended petrol (EBP) program refuse to die down in Andhra Pradesh, with the scientists and farmers saying water resources are depleting and emissions from the factories are polluting the air, water, and soil. Buoyed by the encouraging results of the ethanol blend petrol (EBP) program, which was introduced in India as a pilot project in 2001. The central government in 2020 decided to advance the target of 20% ethanol blending in the petrol from the 2030 to 2025 as the way towards a cleaner future. The EBP program was said to be a way of addressing multiple concerns of growing energy consumption, oil imports, and increasing carbon emissions from vehicles. Under the EBP, ethanol is made using grains such as broken rice and corn, and is therefore said to double farmers' income as well. Curtain down on BioAsia 2025, Minister says it was the largest thus far. Union Minister of Coal and Mines G. Kishan Reddy, Telangana IT and Industry Minister D. Siddhar Babu, and officials with the representatives of the startups that were recognized at the valedictory of BioAsia 2025 in Hyderabad on Wednesday. In the run of BioAsia, United States Biopharma Giant opened its innovation and technology facility on which it will investing $200 million and hire around 2,000 people by this year. The 22nd edition of Telangana's Government's Annual Life Science Conference, BioAsia 2025, that continued to meet its goals of serving as a global platform for deliberations on a wide-ranging issues and developments, facilitating business and interactions and showcasing products and solutions, concluded in Hyderabad on Wednesday. IT and Industry Minister D. Siddhar Babu said BioAsia 2025 receiving more than 3,000 delegates, making it the largest in the series. Saw at least 11 companies committing to invest more than 5,000 crore in the green panel pharma, according to Indian rupees near Hyderabad, and set the stage for as many as 200 high-impact B2B meetings. Cancer-related mortalities increased faster among females in the past decade and are expected to continue rising over coming 2 decades, according to Indian Council of Medical Research analysis. The five most prevalent cancer affecting both genders collectively account for 44% of the cancer burden in India. ICMR calls for targeted interventions managing gender-specific and prevalent common cancers through comprehensive strategies. Approximately 3 out of every 5 individuals in India succumb to death following a cancer diagnosis. Additionally, cancer-related mortalities have increased faster among the females 1.2% to 4.4% annual percentage change than males 1.2% to 2.24% over the past decade and are expected to continue rising over the coming 2 decades, found an analysis by the Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) based on figures presented by the Global Cancer Observatory. Globocon 2022 estimates. Globocon is an online database providing global cancer statistics and estimates of incidence and mortality in 185 countries for 36 types of cancer and for all cancer sites combined. Union Budget 2025 cancer drugs to get a cheaper special attention to women and child health care. The analysis further notes that in India, childhood and reproductive age group individuals bear the lowest risk of developing 0.212% to 2.4% and dying 0.08% to 1.3% from cancer compared with their middle-aged and geriatric counterparts who have the highest risks of developing 8.3% to 10.3% and dying 5.5 to 7.7% from cancer. As the population of India transitions from the reproductive age group up to the middle age and the geriatric age group, India is anticipated to witness the highest cancer burden of all time in the near future, potentially exacerbated by the looming cancer epidemic, notes the paper. It adds that the 5 most prevalent cancers affecting both the gender collectively account for 44% of the cancer burden in India. In India, breast cancer incidence is highest in Hyderabad. Real study the country is currently indicating that females exhibit higher crude incidence and crude mortality rates compared with the males based on the population of 0.676 billion females and 0.731 billion males in 2022. The middle-aged and geriatric cohorts count for the heaviest 70% cancer burden with a high crude rate incidence and deaths. Crude rates are calculated by dividing the number of new cancers or cancer deaths observed during a given time period or by the corresponding number of the individuals in the population at risk. Globocon 2022 estimates highlight that cancer as a significant global health problem and state that in the Southeast Asia region, India ranks third in terms of the cancer incidence and the second for mortality, while globally India ranks 121 in terms of crude rates. Open Artificial Intelligence rolls out advanced voice powered by GPT-40 Mini for free users. However, there will still be limits on free users when compared to the Plus and Pro users. OpenAI announced that it was rolling out advanced voice powered by GPT-40 Mini to all ChatGPT free users for preview. OpenAI announced the rollout of GPT-40 Mini powered advanced voice mode that all ChatGPT free users can preview. Starting today, we are rolling out a version of advanced voice powered by GPT-40 Mini to give all ChatGPT free users a chance to preview it daily across a platform. The natural conservation, pace and tone are similar to the GPT-40 version while being more cost-effective to serve a posted Open Artificial Intelligence on Platform X on February 26. However, there will still be limits on free users when compared to Plus and Pro users. Evolution of intelligent life on the Earth may not have been so unlikely. A popular model of evolution concluded that it was incredibly unlikely for humanity to evolve on Earth and that extraterrestrial intelligence is vanishingly rare. Some of the greatest evolutionary biologists of the 20th century famously dismissed the prospect of a human-like intelligence beyond Earth. A popular model of evolution concludes that it was incredibly unlikely for humanity to evolve on Earth and that extraterrestrial intelligence is vanishingly rare. But an expert on the entangled history of life and our planet, we propose that the co-evolution of life and the Earth's surface environment may have unfolded in a way that makes the evolutionary origin of human-like intelligence a more foreseeable or expected outcome than generally thought. Now, at last, there's a famous personality, English personality known by his famous name, William Wordsworth. Birth anniversary 7 April 1770 up to 23 April 1850, was an English romantic poet who, with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, helped to launch the Romantic age in English literature with their joint publication Lyrical Ballads 1798. Wordsworth's magnum opus is generally considered to be the prelude, a semi-autobiographical poem of his early years that he revised and expanded a number of times. It was posthumously titled and published by his wife in the year of his death, before which it was generally known as the poem to Coleridge. Wordsworth was a poet laureate from 1843 until his death from pleurisy. On 23rd April 1850, he remains one of the most recognizable names in English poetry and was a key figure of the Romantic poets. William Wordsworth says a very famous quotation which says that poetry is the first and last of all knowledge. It is as immortal as the heart of man. Okay, thank you.